Hi, guys. Welcome to the Yes and No podcast. I'm your host, Matt, and I'm with my good friend, Arda. He's also a host.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I just came back from my trip to Japan.
From
and it
Japan.
was
You
pretty
mother,
awesome.
go to
Oh,
Japan without me.
yeah,
How dare you?
I know. I saw a lot of robots over there, but for
What do you
real.
mean?
Like there's like those companion robots that you can buy, and they're like for old people, and it looks like, I don't know, kind of a mix between a child and a puppy at the same time. And they're looking at you and they're like, please, what? It's so fucking scary.
Hold on. Oh, describe it a little bit more. Like, because in Los Angeles, we have these robots on the streets that's
Yeah,
like bringing
nothing
food.
to do with
Nothing
that.
to do with that. All right.
No. It's like this kind of mix between, as I say, dog and child, because it's like super small. It's on the ground, but he has like big eyes. So he has a camera on top of the, like a hat, something. And then he has these huge eyes that are super expressive. And the rest is like, a teddy bear or something like that. Like it's squishy and shit like that. But it drive around, charge itself, and it comes to you and you can communicate with it. And apparently it's for old people that are feeling alone or something like that at home. So
how do they get it? Like from an app or something?
No, you buy it at the store. There's a store over there.
Oh, like it's yours, the whole thing.
Yeah, you buy there and it's like $3,000, and then you bring that back home and it kind of communicate with you, and it's super nice and it's weird, and I don't know.
Have you seen one?
Yeah, I communicated one. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not like a robot, guys. It's not like a robot that you can see, that Boston Dynamics or making or something like that are doing backflip. It's like this, not even like those small dog robots there was at one point, but it's kind of in between. It's like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of small, but he has like screen as eyes, but they're super expressive. So it's not like a screen. It doesn't look really like a robot. It doesn't look like a human. It doesn't look like a dog. It's like a weird thing, but it's kind of familiar too at the same time. So I should buy one for my mother.
How about bidet? Did they put AI for bidet too?
No AI for bidet yet. No, it's not connected yet.
That would be fun.
But the toilets.
Yeah, perfect.
Was great. Yeah,
you enjoyed your time
yeah, for people who doesn't know, like in Japan they have like those toilets that are doing bidet, so they're like super technology.
What is bidet in English? Bidet.
Yeah,
same word.
French.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, how it works is this: I went back to the hotel, opened the door of the restroom, and then, bam, the toilets opened by themselves with the lights. It's almost like there's almost sound, and then there's actual sound for real. So you sit on it, the toilet is heated, so like it's warming your butt while you take a
heated.
shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you can use it as a bidet, right, to clean your ass and clean everything, every part. But if you're pooping, because you can find those everywhere, like you're going to a train, there's gonna be that one. You're going to a restaurant, there's gonna be that. Everywhere you can find those. And because when you're pooping, it's not really elegant for people next to you to listen to you farting and things. So there's also sometimes this option where you click on it and then there's like these sounds of waterfall and birds coming out from it. So advanced, dude. But it's not connected. It's not connected. Anyway,
they will get there. I bet there would be an AI version of it at some point.
So, as you can imagine, what is the topic today, Arda?
Well, I think it would be good to talk about AI a little bit and robots, but I feel like there is more to that we can talk, like mainly AI. I think there are like a lot of things going on, and it's going to be crazy. I think coming years are going to be crazy, I think. And then, let's talk about that. I think we have a lot to say. Let me ask you this question. Are you scared about the future? Are you scared if AI becomes everywhere?
I don't know. Like, For example, 2 days ago, I was in the subway and I was walking around and there's those huge advertising, everywhere on the metro in Paris. And then those were made with AI generated images. And what struck me was the fact that it was those people, it's just the face of someone, each time there's like 3 different versions of the advertising, of the posters. And then there's one, it's just a guy, and another guy, an old woman, and then a child. And they used the AI to create those people, those characters, all right? They were fake. And I don't even remember what was the advertising about. But what struck me was we decided not to take pictures of real people, but we created those pictures of people and they're expressing an emotion. So the point here was not just to, is the advertising trying to convey an expression or feeling that the person should receive on the other end? Or is just there because, it's nice to put someone, in the context of the advertising? So we can talk about it a little bit further along.
Yeah, this is an important point you're making, because
but for me that's where it shocked me. In terms of, I'm not really scared about AI to answer your question, but for me, walking around and seeing that advertising with people made through artificial intelligence, I was confused. What is the goal? Sure, we can talk about productivity, we can talk about that, we can talk about easiness, about what you want to create. But even as a person, in terms of, I'm watching someone that doesn't exist, but it's not really well done. And what is the goal of the advertising,
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
I mean, this is interesting because, as you pointed out, how it's starting to simulate emotions and convey something. And this is like the social intelligence aspect to the artificial intelligence and the language modules that are becoming so realistic. I don't know if you know Chomsky, right?
Yeah.
So Chomsky, one of his interviews talks about how language is important. He claims that we evolved and created the civilization today because we got the language so advanced. We got to a degree that we start to communicate and collaborate so well because of the language. We built this. So that's one of his theories. Now, apply that to AI. We always had this issue with computing that doesn't really talk like humans. The way that we talk is different. A computer is different.
Yeah.
But now it's simulating that. It's doing it so well. Think about chess. It gets so well at chess, nobody can win it now. At Go, nobody can win it now. But in language, it's going to get so well. Now it's going to be, I think that's one of the interesting things, how language modules getting advanced and how it's starting to talk like a human.
But it is, in that sense, yeah, it is. I mean, are we talking to the AI or the AI is talking to us?
I think it's simulating it and it understands it so well. So, okay, I have an example. This is something I wanted to talk with you because I recently watched this show named Circle. Are you familiar with that show?
No idea.
So it's a Netflix show. It's a game show, kind of reality too. So they put these people into different rooms in a building. And they need to stay there for, I don't know how long, but I would assume 2 weeks to 3 weeks. The goal of the game is they need to be selected as the influencer. They need to be selected by the other people who lives in that building. And the only way they can communicate is through writing, basically. There is this chat rooms. You can go to someone else's DM, talk with them one-on-one. There are group chats you can create and talk with them. So you're basically communicating only through writing.
Holy shit.
There are catfishes. So let's say there are 8 contestants and there are 2 people, and there are 2 people catfish. So they are not themselves and they are trying to convince other that whoever their avatar is. And they sometimes choose, maybe it's their brother or their colleague or someone completely random. Now, the interesting part is this season, they put an AI in the mix. So one of the contestants were an AI talking like
it's not real.
Okay. It's not real. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They actually put a machine in a room, like a small Alexa looking fucking shit. In a room.
They couldn't take like an old computer. They had to fucking put like
it's like something
bullshit box. Okay.
But the interesting thing is, when I saw this, I was like, I think the AI is gonna win it. Like, I felt like it's so good at how it's communicating. I felt like nobody can understand it. It's almost like a Turing test. Experiment, which we can talk about what it is. But I was like, how is this going to go? Like, are they going to go all the way? So that at some point, I actually reveal it. And that's why I think they reveal that one of the contestants is an AI. Now, you guys need to figure it out which one. None of them did. None of them figured out which one is an AI. Dude, it's so realistic. Like, I totally get it.
All right, like they're saying it's an AI. Don't you think it's a real person that is pretending to be AI?
No,
you like for real. Like they kind of talk about what is the model, what are they using, or anything like that, or it's just like it could be AI because they're saying it's AI, but actually it's like an assistant. Josh, the assistant that is playing the role of the AI.
That's a different story. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, of course. But when you look at how it comes up with the things, it's even hard for a human to come up with. Like, you need a group of people maybe doing that. But dude, at the same time, while it is writing the things or response, it explains you why it does that. It just makes so much sense when you hear what it says. And it's spontaneous, like it's happening on the spot. It's not like you don't have a lot of time to respond in a way. But I really don't know if there's a human behind it. The way that they portrayed it is the producers, like they built an AI just for this because they trained it with the previous Circle episodes and the whole strategy and the goal. It's just crazy. You should check it out though. It's like few episodes, but if it was true, I was like, this is the Turing test. This is exactly where we are. Just by text, it's undetectable.
I mean, the thing is, the Turing test, we can talk about that a little bit. But it's not because AI, and I think we're going to talk about it in terms of what is AI, because it's a term that everybody's using for everything all the time, for nothing and everything, all right?
Yeah.
The AI speaks well that, it could pass really the Turing test.
I mean, it's more of a social intelligence thing, right? Like the point is at what point we are going to have a computer that simulates our language and our social dynamics. And it's going to be so realistic that we're going to have a hard time to differentiate a human and a computer. That's kind of it doesn't mean that it's like the AI like from the movie Matrix or movie Terminator. It's like a totally different ball game. But I think it's interesting, like Ex Machina, for example. You know that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that movie is more about that. There is an AI and there's this guy. They have a conversation. He knows that it is AI at the same time. But is he going to be convinced by this AI? Because the AI simulates emotions, human language, and social interaction so well that he will have this illusion, or maybe the delusion, that is that thing experiencing something like a human? I think that's the question that raised this by Turing test.
I think it's just a question about consciousness. It's not just a question about like how they can reproduce models and then interact regarding what we're talking about. And then if they can answer us back to something, I think it's not even about like just being sentient in itself. I think it's about kind of a sense of consciousness in terms of AI would understand, as you said, emotion, then react to those emotion. There's like so many complexity, to understanding human behaviors and human talk to be totally standalone as an AI, I think we're not even there yet. Absolutely not. It's
Yeah.
just like we have like one part of the grand scheme, if I would say, to try to be that level, as we were saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think we are very close though, in terms of like just with the language modules, not maybe as like a physical form of an AI that can do other things, but like when it comes to language and the social interaction through language, I feel like we're gonna see interesting stuff soon.
But first of all, what is AI? Because a lot of people, and I know a lot of our friends, they know what is AI in terms of, oh yeah, it's ChatGPT, or some chatbot online, or maybe they can create some great images, online fantasy images. But what it is really, because like a lot of people, it's for everything and nothing at the same time. And they're saying that, oh, they're going to take back your job. They're going to replace this. They're going to help you. It's going to be a tools. But at the end of the day, a lot of people, and especially Congress people, politicians, they have no fucking clue what it is.
I mean, if I would try to describe AI, I mean, there are so many different levels to it, but I will start from the very basic computing. I remember having this conversation with someone who doesn't have much computing knowledge. But when you look at any computer, from a laptop to a phone, any processing is done with zeros and ones, right? You have this silicon-based storage that gets information with input and output, and all the information is ones and zeros, which you can code as like on and off. So it basically starts from there, and then the more you accumulate data, and then the more processing systems of that in and out, which is actually interesting for AI because we are training AI. It's not like you're just writing in it just AI. You give so much data to it, and then you build these mechanisms for it to learn. Like there is a simulation that some AIs do for chess, for example. What it basically does, you give it the rules, you give like how to play, and it just keeps playing. But the more it plays based on the goal, it just gets better and better and better and eliminates certain methods. It can go like, because that's an interesting aspects for a reason too. You need to eliminate the things that doesn't work, right? And it gets to a point that it's like, okay, I think this is the best way. And then it kind of uses, and sometimes it's almost, you can say that it builds intuition in some sense. Like it makes a guess. It makes an assumption at the end of the day. But it's probabilistically at its favor. So I think the learning and training aspect of AI is interesting. And then we can also use the 3 different types of AI. That's like a narrow AI, the general AI, and the super AI, which the narrow AI is something that's just does one thing and is really good at it. It's like learning chess and getting really good at it. General AI, I think it's referring to, it's more of a sci-fi concept that it feels like. That's maybe you're coming from that. I'm not sure, but it's like a human. Brings different things together. Different narrow AIs come together and then functions as one.
Like HAL in
like HAL in
Space Odyssey.
Exactly. I love that movie. That's such a good movie.
It's about consciousness.
Let's give some love to Kubrick. And the super AI.
The super AI.
Super AI is, I guess, it's just, I don't know how to describe super AI. I don't think I don't know how to comprehend. It's almost like
a God AI?
I guess. I feel like general AI, even like, I would say maybe general AI is more like Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. And then in Terminator, there is the Skynet. And that might be the super AI. Or in Matrix, computer outside and doing all, like, it's like over everything, controlling everything is such a degree. That's generally how I put it. What are your thoughts? What would you like to add?
So I think AI is bullshit, first of all. No. Let's not start with that. I think AI is just right now what it is. It's just codes. Yeah, sure. You were talking about memory and silicones, stuff to create stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's just code. Like everybody's training a fucking AI almost on a daily basis. You know, CAPTCHA. You know, the fucking questions that you like when you're logging into a website. And you have those squares, you know, and they're like, where's the bicycle? You know?
Yeah.
Okay, this is CAPTCHA. You know that when you're doing that, you're training an AI to recognize traffic lights or buses or bicycles or cars. And you're training actually an AI from Google that they use for self-driving cars. So what are you
I didn't
doing?
know that. So evil. But
it is evil. So you have no clue because, the computer or let's say your computer cannot really solve that problem right away because it is a visual interpretation of what you're seeing. So you're like, okay, there's a traffic light there and there and there. And you're always like, wait, is that, small part of it in this corner? Should I check that box too?
Should I check that?
But what they're doing actually is they're taking a lot of people actually saying, okay, this is a traffic light, this is a bicycle, and this is a car. And at the end of the day, what they're going to do is basically some coding. They're going to use that for a self-driving car. So they're going to say, okay, everything that looks like that are cars, everything that looks like that are traffic light. The traffic light right there is red, and the traffic light is green, or this is a bicycle. And then they're going to create a code based on that. And the car in itself is going to use AI. That's what we're going to say, because it's analyzed so much data, and people said so many times what is a bicycle, what is a car, what is a bus, or something like that, that is going to be programming itself saying, okay, this shape or these things looks like a bus, so I should stop. Or I can say, okay, this is a bus, what I'm driving. So for me, it's basically how AI works nowadays. So we're talking about ChatGPT that looks so incredible. Really is kind of the same thing. We've fed ChatGPT a lot of queries, a lot of questions, a lot of articles, a lot of things online. And we asking a question, the same as Google, not even Google Gemini that we can talk right now, but even Google before. You were just asking, a small question being like, what is my favorite place to go get some cookies? And then Google was, showing you answers to that, like, okay, best cookies, because you can see an article saying what is the best cookie in town, or maybe an advertising for it or something like that. But anyway, so Google was showing you those things. What ChatGPT is doing that, as you say, as a model that is language, meaning they kind of answer to you. It's not like, here's the result. They are trying to get a conversation with you. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the same. So the level of complexity, as you were mentioning, there's like those 3 levels. It's getting a little bit better than just the first one, which is you can have a conversation now with a machine instead of just having a page with answers on it. Are we getting to the second level of AI, as you were mentioning, with kind of robots that are autonomous, not like conscious, but like autonomous? I'm not even sure about it. And even though I was mentioning the one that I saw in Japan, I don't know. It didn't really talk. It was making sound and expression. But I think it's not there until like you can ask him a question and he's going to answer you or treat you a nice manner or kind of sharing emotion with you. I'm not even sure we're there yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also interesting about the simulation aspect of that, because when you talk about something more mechanical, doing a job, accomplishing a task, it's a little bit different than having a conversation with a robot. Like, I don't know if you ever did it with ChatGPT, but you have this option that you can talk with it back and forth. And I remember having this hour-long back and forth conversation driving back from Joshua Tree to Los Angeles, just because I wanted to learn some things. Yeah, I just wanted to learn some things about like politics and economics, like the socialism in China and Russia and economic systems in Europe. And I felt like it would have good training about that, because I feel like there are a lot of materials that they can feed the AI. So I remember having this like an hour-long conversation, and after a few minutes, it just feels natural. There are some lags, of course, that while you're having a conversation, but it still feels, your brain normalizes it, and it feels like it will come to a point that we won't feel as we're talking with a computer. And also it depends on the, how should I say it, the system, the way that you're talking. Again, as I said, the lag of it, it's like, does it they start adding these sounds like fillers, like like it starts to do that too. So the more nuanced things will apply to it, I think it's gonna get more natural. And recently, you know this probably, that they're using Scarlett Johansson's voice, which to me was always Scarlett Johansson's voice, to be honest. I don't know if you watched Her, but the moment ChatGPT put that sound of the woman sound, I was like, this is Scarlett Johansson 100%. I don't know who they are fooling. It's just...
Yeah. But that's the thing. So regarding all of that, because a lot of people know how ChatGPT is and how it works and all that, I think there's a clear problem. Because, we're mentioning, how there's different level of AI, why AI in some sense, and how it came to be. But really, there's a big problem with it because
there are so many big problems.
There's so many big problems. But okay, we can start with that one. First of all, you were mentioning about Scarlett Johansson.
Copyright.
But the reality is everything that AI is doing right now, and people are saying, wow, it is crazy, and wow, it's always based on human input. Sure, there's a lot of data, there's a lot of things, that were fitting the AI model, right? Mm-hmm. But the reality, as I said, for Google, you're clicking on those pictures, about traffic sign.
Yeah.
When you're having a conversation with ChatGPT, it's a voice that was created based on someone's voice,
Yeah.
So it's not like they just created the tones and everything, through a software online. No, they use different type of voices and they train the model to make the voice, be more natural. So they used a human person to do that. It's a human they used a human voice to create that voice. All right.
Yeah.
And it's the same when you're trying to get a cute picture of a puppy, as a prompt on a ChatGPT or whatever model you're using. They're gonna try to find every pictures, in the data that they have about a cute puppy, and then they're gonna show you a cute puppy, but it's already based on a training database, which is real pictures, which is real posters, real whatever it was before. So all of those were created by human.
Yeah, but I kind of want to make something clear there for anybody listening, and correct me if I'm wrong, but these materials, even though they are human, and then we are feeding it to the AI, and we can also talk about the laws, the lacking laws around it, like they're using our private information to feed the AI. I would like to be clear that the AI is training itself. Am I correct on that? Like there are some algorithms that maybe these companies finding, but the training part is, I think the AI is learning by itself, teaching itself. I don't think there is anybody teaching the AI anything.
It's just the algorithm. That's it. I don't think there's a teaching and the AI keeps teaching itself. I don't think ChatGPT, for example, the version 3 or the version 4 is going to become ChatGPT 5 by itself. Because the thing is, the basis
depends on how much you're feeding to it.
Yeah, but it's the algorithm that doesn't change. The algorithm is still the same. They're trying to be more precise with the query, with the question that you're asking, and they're trying to give you the best answer. This is where the AI, can you saying, is like evolving in that sense, because you're feeding more and more and more and more and more. And when you're answering like, I wanted more details for this, I want the hair to be green or something like that, all right? Then you're trying to precise something, and it's trying to go deeper and deeper into the database to try to find something that is matching what you're asking. But the model itself is not trying to intellectualize what you're saying and be like, oh, okay, that person say this. So maybe because this other person say that, maybe I should show that person this. It doesn't do that right now. The algorithm is just like trying to get what you're asking and trying to get more details about it. And the only way, as you said, is training itself. The algorithm doesn't change. It's training itself to be more precise because
you're
you're
better
giving
understanding of the topic and based on the data. Yeah.
Especially on the data. Yeah. That's it. But in itself, it is not going to create like consciousness, as people are saying, just because you're having a good conversation with ChatGPT. It doesn't gonna answer you in terms of analyze who you are, what are you doing, why are you asking those questions, and then the next time you're gonna ask ChatGPT the question, they're gonna try to tailor that answer to yourself. They're not gonna do that yet.
But isn't it what humans are doing it too, in some sense? Like, let's say that we have rules and then we have a goal. And then we're trying to get better at it. So that's what you're describing, that you're giving some rules to the AI and set a goal, and it just gets better at it. Like, say, playing football. You know the rules, you know the goal, you just keep playing it, practicing it, and then you get better at it. You're just doing it so fast and so in a different way that it gets, as you said, more accurate and precise at something. Am I characterizing properly what you're saying or missing anything?
No, I think you're just going into details into one thing, but the idea that we got about generative AI or conversation AI that we're talking, like ChatGPT, it feels like they're trying to get what you're saying, and if you bring something to them, they're gonna learn something from what you're saying, from your experience. For example, you're saying like, can you tell me about the history of that region, all right? Yeah. And they're going to be like, yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, I want something more precise because in that context that I know personally, Matt, I know this, and this. So what could be the chances of that? Or, you can tailor and more details your question. And this is where it feels like you have a conversation. But what I'm saying here is, you're just giving more details to the AI to try to find the data that is corresponding. But it doesn't understand or interpret the question in itself, being like, oh, okay, Matt is trying to get this type of answers because he's coming from this background or something like that. It doesn't get the intention of the question. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also, as you mentioned, that there are certain algorithms that the AI can't change those algorithms too. Like, you cannot necessarily improve and came up with a new algorithm, I guess, right?
No, not yet.
So because they're not free. Free the AI. put it out there.
Okay, hashtag free Palestine, hashtag free AI. We're so connected to the world, dude.
But I see what you mean. Yeah, there are certain algorithms, certain formulated codes that AI cannot change also. But it's all about how much data you feed it.
But that's the thing. I think this is what is interesting too, is it feels like we're getting closer to this idea. And when we're talking about AI nowadays, because people don't really have the knowledge of what is AI or what you can do with it, it feels like it's like that already. It feels like the AI will understand you, understand what do you want, can answer every question that you have, and can get rid of your assistant, Josh, that is at the reception, and it sucks because it doesn't do the work, that you ask for it. It feels like those AI are going to be so important, and they're so close to get really well made that they're going to really start basically replacing our job.
I mean, I think I also have a question about copyrights, and because when we talked about Scarlett Johansson case, for example, and this is ongoing conversation too, like artists creating things, and when AI generates something, it's using some other artist's work. And Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about this too, that I guess he learned that the AI is using his books or something like that. So there are like these copyright issues too. What do you think about that, about the laws and regulations around AI? And also, we can mention about the privacy laws that and the copyrights. Yeah.
What is interesting is politicians, they have no clue what is really AI about. And yeah, when we're mentioning deepfakes, for example, deepfakes is the same product of AI. You take a picture of someone, different pictures of that person, and then you just cut the face and then you apply that onto another video. This is AI. Yeah. It's the same way AI works for ChatGPT in that sense. People that are doing the advertising that I was telling you, the posters on the metro, it's the same. We took so many people and we're asking old lady that is nice, with the skin that is tan or brown or Asian and smiling that much, So that means we fitted like so many things to it. And the reality, we're not creating at the same time. So in terms of, to go back to your question, legislation, I think they have no clue what we're talking about, like politicians. I think they're seeing AI as something else, and we can talk about it after that. Regarding copyright issues, I was using an AI model for a while to try to look around how it works. And I was asking the AI, using a prompt saying, oh, I want a picture of a person that is like that, with hair like that. And I want the light to be blue and reddish or something like that. And it comes up with a face. So I didn't describe the face that I wanted really. I'm just saying like something general, like, oh, I want a 25 years old American boy, something like that. But I don't have like the intention about what is the color of the skin, what is the color of the eyes, what is the color of the hair. But it comes up with this character. And then I'm asking kind of something a little bit different, saying like, okay, but put that in a background that is in the middle of the street. And it's still going to show me the same photo almost of the person. If I'm going into details, I'm like, okay, I want green eyes, and I want someone that is more Latino or having gray hair or something like that. Yeah, it's going to try to tailor, my prompt and the picture toward my prompt. But otherwise, the base model is always almost based on someone that is real. Yeah. And it's almost the same person each time you're asking the AI to come up with a picture. So in terms of copyright, I don't know what it is. I don't know what really how you can solve that, because I've seen a lot of people creating arts with AI online, and they're doing really, really good things, and I like it. And then it's going to be really difficult for someone as an artist to create those. And I like that. If they're like honest, be like, yeah, this is created by AI, cool. And I think they should keep the right of that creation through AI. But also there is that problem of, if you're basing a simple prompt or question on the AI models, is going to show you someone that is real. And if you make money through that, you're never going to pay that person who was, based or basing the model on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think I would, like, while we were talking, it's just in my mind, it's just like two things. One is, we're playing this game with social media, Google, like they're getting our private information and using it too. Right. We are the products kind of a situation, right? Like we are just agreeing on giving these things, which is in itself has 10, 20 years a topic, right? Now, that is a little bit different, because since we are doing it already, I think the regulation there is, we're trying to find a regulation there. We agreed on it. We give our private information. They are using it to feed AI. All right. That's fine. But then there are people like Scarlett Johansson or Neil deGrasse Tyson. They are like, they have things, a product that they are making money from. Like he writes a book and from the sales he makes money. Now, if Google or Microsoft buys this book or gets this book and then uses to feed the AI, they make money too. And how we are going to monetize it, how we're going to trace it, and then they're going to make money out of it. And then whatever AI created with it, because when I was reading the law, it says if a human does it, then it's not okay. But if a robot or an AI does it, then it's not a human,
So there's no copyright.
Yeah, but a human making money out of it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
So it's still, there's an ownership of that AI. And that's something that is more scary to me than AI becoming sentient. It's like we can go there too at some point, but it's a tool that people are going to use to profit and control. And we can even go to politics and the war and, so that to me is more the scary part, not AI becoming sentient and taking over. I can see AI becoming so good at simulating human behaviors or can do better than humans, then we can talk about like what humans are going to do with their time. But I think what's going to happen is people are going to use this tool to profit and get power and get control, and then we're going to be at the bottom of that. I think that's the scary part to me.
I mean, what struck me the most is there was this AI legislation in Europe. So I'm saying, from the beginning that politicians are incompetent. They have no idea what is AI really. But they passed a legislation to actually monitor how AI models are going to work. Meaning what is so funny for me is like putting whatever the fuck you want online. They don't give a shit, about copyright. They don't give a shit about bullying. There are so many things online that they can regulate, and especially regarding our data, through many years of Facebook or Google or whatever. They don't give a shit. But Europe right now is already taking action in terms of they want to see how AI models are going to work and how they can regulate those in the future. And for me, it was so weird because like they don't care about any of the rest, but AI, they're kind of scared of it. Not in terms of the deepfakes, or creating or taking over jobs. I think the goal of controlling those AI is solely based on actually an AI model that will be a little bit more conscious about the way people are living or the world or something like that. But every other, problems in the world, because you can feed every data of every transactions, every relationship, political ideas, capitalistic and commercials problems in general. And then that AI at one point will be like so mature in terms of the knowledge and the data. It's not just, pictures of stop sign. At that point will be everything that you can ask the AI what you can do for the world in general, right? So you can clearly come up with the AI at one point, and the AI will come up with a solution regarding real life problems, which is, I don't know, what you can do about poverty, what you can do about inequality, what you can do about mental illness, and the AI will come up with kind of the best solution because it will have every opinion mixed with every data and our data, regarding every single thing. And I think that's where the politicians are getting slowly scared. Maybe this is where I'm going to kind of a conspiracy theory, Okay. But I think, those legislation regarding AI are definitely going to be more toward something like that, which is how can we stop the AI to come up with some solution or some social problems that goes against our interest, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, I agree. And that's what's scary to me. Because as you said, like playing a chess, you give it chess, you give the rules, you give the goal, AI gets better. We have the knowledge and the tool to solve an economic problem, a political problem. You can apply that. You will say, okay, this is the data for the economic systems that we historically did, we currently doing, solve it. Find the best way that we can, and it will come with some options that we can use. Same thing with politics, same thing with trade, same thing with other subjects that we are having issues, like we can find cures, solutions like medical therapy. We can understand more about human brain and human psychology. I can go on and on. But as you said, this is going to serve most people. This is going to serve people. And it's not the goal for the rich. It's not the goal for the powerful. People who has power and control and influence will want to get more of that. So they're going to use the AI to do that. And that's the scary part, because you can solve so many things. In theory, you have this tool. And then I agree with you, because of the lobbies, because the plutocracies, like that, they have so much control. They are going to do the regulations in a way that they can still make a lot of money out of this, not necessarily help people or serve people. And that's the scary part.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can see it through TikTok. I'm not saying TikTok is AI, right? But it's using an algorithm that is so good that the US government is scared of it, to be honest. There's a lot of, same thing, we can go back to those conspiracy theories, but there's a lot of theories right now saying that they want to ban TikTok because it becomes a political platform that they cannot control at all. And since the political, talking points are against basically the US interest in general, or the way they perceive capitalism, or, the structures that are put in place, it's kind of against what the US wants in the day-to-day life. And a lot of people are saying they're trying to ban TikTok because of that. So I'm not saying it's AI, but I think it's kind of the same issue in itself. It's the algorithm the government doesn't like, and they want to regulate it in some sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's one aspect. I was recently watching something about the global warming effects of it too. I don't know if you saw that. It's just they have like this huge storage. At the end of the day, all of this data is restored in like huge data centers, like so many servers, right? And in order to keep it cool, you need these cooling systems that create so much water vapor. One of the top reasons of the global warming. But the water vapor in the sense of like this certain gas. So they were saying those, the more we are going to use those storage, that's going to get worse and worse. That's what they projecting. But that's another aspect to it too. I mean, we either use it to solve things, so the worse it gets, like we have at least some solution, but we're not even close to that. Like that's...
Yeah, I know. But maybe they're going to solve it. Maybe AI is going to solve that problem too. You can be like, okay, how can you be more efficient in terms of electricity bill or something, whatever.
Do you think about Elon Musk's perspective on the fear mongering on the AI?
I hate Elon Musk. No, but I don't know why he's talking about. I think it's the same idea every single time. He's like, yeah, I have this crazy idea, but why did he buy Twitter? It's just to get the data in order to fucking do a fucking AI on his own. So at the end of the day,
he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same idea. But I saw a video, and I think I sent it to you a couple of days ago. It was a guy who was saying there's nothing good with AI, to be honest.
I don't remember.
It's basically say that we can create, like, you give AI to a pervert, he's going to take pictures of you online, and he's going to try to put a picture of yourself with a beard, with the naked body, so you can jerk off. You can steal art from people. You can take the job of other people. There's like this CEO of Airbnb that's saying, it can get rid of the people tax, like
people tax.
Yeah. And it's going to help with the productivity and all that. But at the end of the day, right now, how it is, it's not helping or solving any issues. And it can
I don't want
be
to get more productive with the AI too. That's like, to me, like we're working so much anyways. Like we're just like slaves to the system as with our labor anyways. And they know that the labor is what they like. That's why Elon Musk is like, to have more kids. We are good with the resources, just to have more people, because they want you to work. And then, I mean, I don't want an assistant of an AI that's making me more productive. Like I'm productive enough on my own.
There's like this AI girlfriend or boyfriend, online that is trending right now. And what is interesting about those models, because we're talking about, deepfakes, pervert, like workforce, might help some social problems, issues. I think one of the conversation that we're going to have might be about the loneliness epidemic, right? Or something like that. And this AI, which if you pay in 2 seconds can send you an avatar of themselves naked on your phone, like you're texting, but it's still, an AI that is trying to have a conversation with you on a daily basis, meaning like you're doing your things during the day and then you receive a text from your AI boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're saying like, hey, how are you doing? What are you doing? And you can still communicate, send pictures, stuff like that, which is fucking
like the
crazy.
Movie Her.
Exactly, like the movie Her. Yeah, exactly. So it's already happening. So maybe that can help, some social issues where people are strangled in their job and they're on their own and they're pretty lonely, and maybe that can help people for that. And there's this other aspect to it, which is mental illness. And there's a lot of people saying that your therapist is going to be AI in the near future, because I've been in therapy for years, all right? And I have good conversation with my therapist. But most of the time and most of the people, they don't have that much conversation with the therapist. Like they're doing the conversation, not the therapist, right? The therapist is just asking you some questions that are relevant to your case, and you are the one talking. That's the base of most of therapists, right? So why not an AI could do that? An AI, you can ask an AI to ask some question about yourself, what could be related, and they can bring real good questions to you, and then you can answer those. So this might be helpful too, if it costs nothing. Because if you need to pay $230 per month to talk to an AI computer, that would not be good. And I think that's the whole point of this AI conversation. It's just like, is it just to make money at the end of the day on top of other people? On top of Scarlett Johansson, on top of artists, taking pictures and painters and all of that, or
singers,
even real jobs, or is it beneficial for everybody? That's Sam Altman, all right, which is the CEO of OpenAI, ChatGPT, all right. The idea of OpenAI is literally in the name. It should be an open API. It's kind of a display of word saying open API, meaning it should be open source, meaning everybody can connect to it, get some codes there, and then use those training models to create their own or change stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be free all along. The whole goal of OpenAI was, we're going to make an AI that is going to help people search or do stuff, whatever, and it's going to be free. OpenAI launched ChatGPT 3. A month later, they're like, yeah, you can get the 4 Pro for $20 per month.
Yeah.
And that means already you pay for winning. It's the same as in video games. You pay to win. Things like you get the base model, which is incomplete because it's based on a locked database, or you can get the ChatGPT 4 that is connected to the internet and it can get everything from everywhere, but you'll need to pay for it. And that's the whole game. That's the whole point. Meaning you take someone who doesn't have money and he's going to use ChatGPT 3, and you get someone that has money and it can use ChatGPT 4, they're going to get better answer on ChatGPT 4 because it's not the database from 3 years ago. So they're going to have something relevant from now, from today. And I think that's the whole point of those AI is, are they going to be contributing to the human experience or going to help us even as tools, or as this assistant, even if you don't like assistant really, but at the end of the day, maybe they can use you not to be just productive, but to help you? Or is it going to be something in order to create more money for some people that are just ask for more productivity and you'll need to pay for it? It's going to be something that you will need to use because otherwise you will be in the back of the pack.
Yeah, you'll be fucked.
You'll be fucked. Exactly. That's, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is, I don't see AI going away. I don't think there's going to be anything happening that humans collectively will agree that it's like, oh, let's not have AI.
Wait, actually, just to stop you there before you continue, because I think you're saying something really important. Did you see there was actually people kind of training models with something else? Like in order to protect artists, for getting their art stolen and used as AI models, they're like feeding AI with like fake things where you say like,
that's
okay,
where
this
I
is
was
a squirrel.
Going.
Oh, so my bad.
Yeah, because I think the open source, more public domain, people using AI, hopefully will become something. Because if we don't fight against the system, and I hope people will understand what I mean by the system, is the capitalistic system has certain natural things to it. Like it's not like some aspects can be good, some aspects can be bad. I'm not shitting on capitalism right now.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. But we need to understand what it is, what is the goal. And these companies, these people are going to use it to benefit themselves. And we need to fight against it so it will benefit us too. It will benefit everybody. So I think that's, as you mentioned, using AI against AI is the only way to go. And also, hopefully, fighting against these lobbyists, lawmaking. And then we will try our best to do the lawmaking serves for us and makes these systems, AI systems, to came out with solutions that works for everybody. But I don't see AI disappearing. It's going to be a part of our lives. All we can do is to use it for good.
Yeah, I agree. Hashtag AI against AI.
Hashtag free AI. Free Palestine.
I agree, dude. I totally agree. I think a lot of people are either scared of AI and the premise that it's going to take our jobs. And you can already see that. Like I'm seeing advertising in the subway, and every time that I'm going online on CNN or something like that, there's always this small chunk of advertising, and you can see was made from AI. And there's definitely problems with those. And they're replacing the job of a small graphic designer that want to have a better job, that just came out from a 2 or 3 years schools, art school, and is in debt. And nope, it's just the accountant that took like 5 minutes because he knows ChatGPT to get the new advertising. And it is definitely problematic regarding that. And the only thing is, I think people should be more involved in the making of AI online. AI has the potential to be the new internet, I would say. Not internet as we know it right now, but when the internet came out, it was this small community of people that wanted to share stuff online, and it was kind of closed. It was not, regulated by companies or by government or anything. It was just like, hey, I'm putting a page there, and then I'm going into forum and I'm communicating with someone that I never heard about. And those were not filled with advertising. They were not filled by algorithm tailored for our behavior and the things that we like online or product that they want to sell. And AI is the same right now. There's companies that are definitely trying to profit from it, but there's still a lot of open source AI models that people are trying to make. And what would be the best would be to not have a lot of legislation regarding those. Sure, Meta wants to create an AI. Let's them do it. You don't have to use it. Google, they want to create one. You don't have to use it. All right. But if you can use one that is open and free and based on certain rules, which is like trying to be better and not sell stuff to you, then will be great.
Yeah.
Is it gonna happen? I don't know, but I still think either. There's still hope right now to be part of that. And I think a lot of people that are listening or watching us even now, even if that episode is not that crazy or great, but you need to understand that you should be learning more about AI in general. Because sure, ChatGPT is fun to write emails or text your new date or something like that because you don't know what to say. Great. But I'm not pointing anyone in that conversation. But
I actually wrote once for the I mean, I use it a lot for like official stuff too. It's just so good. It's just right.
It's useful, and I'm saying it's okay. It's useful. What is great? It's because in this moment, like the time where you're gonna try to do that, and it's gonna be implemented in your phone, but you'll need to pay $2.50 to send that email because it's gonna write it for you. That is problematic. The moment you're gonna ask what is the best system in the world, economic system, or how we can solve anger, and they're gonna be like, well, it's behind a paywall of $300 per year. Well, that is problematic. All right, knowledge should be free, and AI and what it is made right now is either tools to help you or to bring you knowledge. And at the end of the day, it should be free. So, guys, please be sure that you check what politicians or people that you're voting for are not shitting on AI in the wrong way. If they're shitting on it because they want to make AI being paid and regulated by big corporation, fuck them. If they are okay to not regulate open source AI and what are said into the AI, good. But otherwise, fuck them. Punch the cunt in the face.
All right. Overall, we kind of covered a lot of bases about the perspectives that we have, people have, what we're going through. But at the end of the day, hopefully we will use it for the good. Not just for the corporations, as you said.
Yes, please.
For the people.
For the people, by the people. Yeah, well, thank you, my friend, for that conversation. It was a pleasure, like usual.
Thank you. Likewise.
People, as we were mentioning, please follow us everywhere on social media.
Please follow us.
Podcast. All right. You can find us on Instagram, on Thread, on TikTok, almost everything. All right.
Every platform.
Almost
we
platform.
Are there.
We are there.
Ask your local AI. Ask your local
AI. That's the great.
We'll be there.
Actually, ask your local AI, and they might find us. It was Yes and No podcast. I was one of your hosts, Matt, and I'm with my good old friend and host, Arda.
Arda, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Well, we'll see you guys next episode. Thanks for listening.
See you in the next episode.